Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I am trying a new music thing, so hopefully it's audible, not too loud, isn't terrible. This light is being bad and washing out my I am way too pale skin, so I don't know what's going on with that. That's probably more realistic. Hi, Ian. How are you? Look, it's my sweater. Hello, Sammy Stitches. You go by Sammy or you go by Stitches? Thank you for following. Oh my god, I love your color, Ian. The blue is freaking amazing. Yeah, this is like the Lions brand that they recommended, and it was on sale, which is why I got it. But yeah. Just so you know, Ian, this is as far as I am down the thing. Is that color really like named for you? That's awesome. I am trying like 57 million things today. I got a new tablet. It's a cheap Lenovo tablet that I got primarily for Pattern Keeper, which I might not even end up using, but I needed a tablet anyway. But I'm trying my touch portal on my tablet now, so everything is extra weird. And I like rearranged where my overhead camera is. Because I was having such a hard time keeping my knitting where the camera was. Anyway, I should actually be knitting while I do this. You know, I did not think this through. This is what I have left. So I think next time we have capitalism, I'm going to have to go and ball up more yarn. Because I'm actually making a giant ball of two together because I can't be bothered to actually knit out of two skeins. So is that a color that's available for anybody to buy now, or like just you? Is that like a you special color? Because I've never bought any of Thorel's colors yet, but I probably should. All right, where am I in this pattern? Oh, right. This is the last row of the front sides repeats. I'm going to have to go back down. Yeah, anyone can buy it. Okay, I'm going to need to find it and actually, like, get it. Also, apparently on this row, Knit Companion decided to not tell me how many stitches. The answer is 5. The answer is always 5 when it doesn't tell me, so. It really is kind of one of the most amazing blues. And blue was my favoriteest color for a long time, and then I discovered that really the world needs more purple in its life. Am I in the wrong row? Like, what is going on? This is not... Oh, this is the right place. Okay, I'm just crazy. This sweater, I swear, this cardigan pattern is, let's just say that this is not the best written cardigan pattern, and while I wouldn't want to say that I will never use this designer's patterns again because their cables are amazing, I am not a fan of their pattern writing. It is not clear, and I do not like it. So, stitch marker. Stay where you belong. Okay, so... Good, we've rolled over to the next pattern, and we're gonna switch. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Once you have securely mastered the art of knitting and purling and making one, like, I can knit with my eyes closed, but I don't. Here's the thing, right? Once you know how to knit, purl, yarn over, and make one, you maybe do a decrease. You have mastered knitting. Everything else is practice, and only affects how comfortable you are with those things. So it doesn't matter if you started in November or 3 days ago or 30 years ago, right? Because it's the same skill set no matter what. The issue is with how comfortable you are. The issue I have with this pattern, it's not that it's advanced. Also, I don't know why my lights are flickering. It's not that the pattern is advanced. It's that the pattern is badly written. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not that it's badly written. Like, there are so much worse. And God knows I have not put out any knitting patterns, and they would probably be hot garbage also. So maybe I shouldn't talk. But there are clearer ways, and what I can tell you from reading this pattern is that it was absolutely test knit by many knitters. It was probably not test knit by beginners, and it was probably not test knit by non-native English speakers, and it was probably not test knit by like a variety of neurodivergent people, which is, all of those are very good things to do with patterns, because sort of all those groups of people will find different issues, and if you address the issues and the questions that those test knitters find, you're going to end up with a much clearer pattern that's kind of clearer for everybody. And I don't think they did that necessarily, or they didn't do it enough maybe. So like, I can puzzle out what they mean, but well, so like, I don't know if you saw, right? So like, I have been literally knitting since I was 3 years old, and I am, you can fit your lifespan several times into mine since I was 3 years old. So, it's been a while. I'm a long time knitter, and you saw I had questions that I was asking both Mousy and Zakayla in that chat. Even though I've been knitting several of Ian's lifetimes. Yeah, right? So it's not that, and note, you just asked a question about where to put those short rows. Scroll up like 2 screens. I asked the same question. And like, I'm me, so I was like, I think it's in these side stitches, but I'm not sure. And, you know, Mousy, who's, I don't know, a dozen rows ahead of me or whatever, or was, I think I'm further back now, verified, yeah, okay, my theory is correct. It's what I thought it was. It's, you know, and that's the answer that we gave you, right? But like, it's not you. It's seriously not you. It's not, this pattern is not clear for anyone. It's got, and for some, maybe some people, they're like, oh yeah, obviously, it's obviously this thing. But it was not obvious enough for me that I had to stop and ask. And I've asked a number of clarifying questions. Like, don't feel for a moment that it's a you problem. Like, there are many things in this that might be a you problem. Like, if you run into a problem because you didn't swatch, if you run into a problem because you, like, made extra rows, or you decide you don't want to do short rows, or you decide, like, if you make choices, then it's a you problem. But other than that, it's not a you problem. Like, that's kind of what I mean about this pattern, right? It's, so I hate seed stitch. I hate seed stitch with a passion. Moss stitch, or whatever the hell it's called, the alternating nonsense rows. But I do think that it will not look as good with just pearls there. Yeah, you said, so here's the thing. I don't think it will look as good. It does do a lot for the pattern to have it there. I'm not sure that it's enough for me to have bothered with it. But you know, like with recipes, I tend to do it exactly as stated at least once, and then muck with it. Well, so like again, there's nothing wrong with deciding the next time you make this cardigan you're not doing that. But I think you have to at least once just do it. Um, but yes, I think all of us did not do a good job pre-reading the pattern. So we sort of had in advance questions that like we probably wouldn't have if we all read the pattern. Get world. One of the problems I am constantly running into is that I am splitting my double yarn, and it's not good. Okay, where I just lost where I am in this pattern. Okay, that's my 4. That's my 3. That's my knit, purl, knit. Also, like, complicated cable patterns make for scintillating viewing as I sit here and like go, am I able to count to 5? The answer is often no. No, I'm not. I'm in fact not able to count to 5. So, Ian, this might be of interest to you. Baracco, the yarn manufacturer people, have going on right now a free pattern, kind of like a blanket knit along. It's gonna be fine. The 1x1 ribbing is fine. And it's gonna look better than a 2x1. Right. So it's a mystery knit along 2025 blanket. Basically, every month you get 1 or 2 patterns for blocks. It's knitting, and it's all different techniques. All different techniques. So I've been doing it. I've been doing it with their yarn, and like the yarn is obviously not free, but you can get the pattern on their website. Do I have? Yeah. Is this gonna work? Yes. So there we go. I love my buttons. Oh, have fun with meeting. This thing is like ginormous and bulky. I've brought my camera down so that like what I'm doing is much more visible. It also means that there's like basically no way for me to not have boobs in my shot. So here we are. Anyway, I didn't mean to like spend a lot of time dissing on the pattern. It is a lovely cardigan. It's gonna be gorgeous when it's done. Love the cables. It's just a little unclear in a bunch of places. Which, you know, like that's life, it happens sort of thing, I guess. Oh, I'm gonna need to realize that when my chart rolls over, it needs to roll over to the repeat. I think I need to muck with Knit Companion to actually do that correctly. So It might be that we are doing some software setup mucking in a moment. And I really wish we were slip stitching this or slipping this for a easier pickup, but okay. Yeah, all right, so before we start the next row, I think we have to muck with my knit companion nonsense. All right, so really what I need to do is I need to set up the repeat. This thing? It's the smart counter. I don't think... I hate this. No. Not reset smart counters. Is it this one? Smart counters. No, that's... Ugh. This is the part where I'm just like, I don't know what I am doing to this. Might be that I need to do the edit. It's not a smart counter, it's like a smart repeat. I don't want the stitch slider. It's my normal counter. It's my linked counter. It's my smart markers. It's my project info. Okay. To the internet we go, because I don't remember how to do this. I never remember how to do this. And, okay. Browser, all right. Knit companion, smart row repeats. So I'm just like, okay. No, I don't want a YouTube video. I never want. I never want a YouTube video, but I guess. I find your, there we go, docs and support, tutorials, setup, reminders, no, I don't want row reminders, I don't want any of those things, okay, row repeats, apparently. apparently it kind of cares about my data privacy. That's nice.
Let's learn how to add row repeats for our charts and written instructions. I recommend watching the Intro to Smart Counters tutorial first. Row repeats are used when you need to repeat a subset of rows a certain number of times before continuing on to do the rest of the piece. Here we have charted instructions, and there are several groups of rows that need to be repeated. The written instructions require these same repeats.
Okay. But how do I do this?
Tap Setup. I'll start with the written instructions, so I select that piece. And to add row repeats, tap the Smart Counter button at the bottom. Here in Smart Counters, we can set some basic information about our piece, including how many times we want to repeat the entire chart. It is set to 0 by default, which will allow unlimited repeats. Unless you know for sure you want to stop at a specific number of repeats, I recommend leaving this at 0.
Okay.
To add a row repeat, tap the blue plus on the right and select Row Repeat. You will see a new repeat is added at the start of our instructions. For written instructions, we always start at the top and work down. For this repeat, we want to repeat the first row 6 times. My repeat is already covering the first row, so I'll enter 6 for the number of repeats, and I'll set my color for this repeat to blue. As we look at the instructions, we see we need to repeat rows 13 to 14 8 times total. So we'll add another row repeat for this section by tapping the blue plus and selecting row repeat.
Okay, but I can't get to the
added right below the first one. We need to drag it down to 14 and then drag the top down to 13 so it is covering rows 13 to 14. We will set the repeat count to 8 and I'll make this one green. Now, let's return to main setup and do these same steps with the chart.
Okay, so
tap the arrow upper left to return to main
33
setup.
to 64.
I'll select my chart and tap the Smart Counter button.
15
Here
times.
we can add row repeats the same way. Tap the blue plus and select Row Repeat. This time our first row is at the bottom. For charts, we always work bottom up.
Okay.
We want to repeat this first row 6 times, and I'll set the color to blue. Tap the blue plus and pick Row Repeat to add our second repeat. It is created by default right above our last repeat. Drag it up to row 14 and drag the bottom up to 13. I'll set the repeat count to 8 and the color to green. Tap the arrow upper left to return to main setup. And when you're ready to start knitting, tap Knit. Here we can see the outline repeat sections on the chart and on the written instructions. And our one-tap marker gives us additional information about our progress in the repeats.
And I lost all of my counts, but that's okay. We're gonna just tap this button 500 million times because I think that's what I'm doing. Right, and this is my repeat 1 of 15, which is fine. Okay, 64 and back to 63. Okay, great. That is what we wanted to have happened. So now I just need to do the same thing on the right. There. Up this thing. Plus, yes. Reset my counts, that's fine. Hi, Pengu, how are you? Thank you for resubscribing. I am, uh, you know, setting up software on stream because, of course, I am. Because I forgot to do this before. 15 times. Yes, please do this 15 times. That is totally what I want to have happened. Now I have to press this button 65 times. How are you? I am working on this sweater. And yeah. Oh my god. That's amazing. Did you like have to sell a kidney to get that price? I saw that you messaged me, and I have not looked at your messages. Oh. Like, normally no age chat, but like that's generic enough that that's fine. Okay, wait. How are we in I'm so confused. Just like reset this. Reset this because I yes. I have a bunch of appointments that I need to go to at like 3 o'clock. So I'm only streaming until 2 o'clock, I think. Okay, 52, 54, 55, 6. Okay. 64. There we go. Yeah. That's awesome. Did you like send me angle pictures of the thing that I need to look at? Yes, you did. Yeah. Heck. Is that orchestra level seats? Shit. I do hate that, like, the view from your seat picture is from, like, clearly the person standing up. But whatever. Those are much better seats, and I am amazed. Also, you probably said in the chat which show that was for. Oh, the same show that you were... Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, those are amazing, and seriously, $30? That's, yeah, like, absolutely do it. 100%. Okay. We are doing a cable. Let us do a cable. Okay, but let us not split the thread. Oh God, I have words. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good because not sure I could fake that age thing these days, but this sweater is going to be amazing when it's done, and that's what I keep saying to myself as I battle with it. This like weird ass pearl and knit cable is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. So like this is one of the side fronts, and then like this is the back. So it's like very, very cable-y. It's also like carrying two yarns, two strands in worsted, so it's gonna be a pretty warm sweater. Which, like, I'm moving to the desert, but on the other hand, it does get a little cold there. So go. Normal knit, normal purl, another weird cable. They do, but like, I don't intend to be outside at night very much. But it gets cold in the rainy season too, in the winter. So, I mean, if you listen to my mother, she needs a winter coat. Like she wears the big puffy winter coats in, January, February. But like I was there in January and I wore a sweatshirt. But like this would be fine for that weather. Okay, so that was the first row of that chart. Moving on to the back, where we don't need smart counters because the chart is the full height. I think it gets down to like the 40s in winter time. I think it gets lower at night, but like unless you're camping, it's not particularly important. I am so excited about that trip. Like, I was hoping that we could do the sort of like, let's go do a lot of Broadway all at once before I go kind of trip. So, this is working out amazing. I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna see if the times line up like at all. I want to try to go to Alice's Teacup just because, like, for one last time. If not, that's fine too. I'm gonna need to drive down to Queens at least one more time to go to the cemetery there. I am about to run out of yarn. When I do run out of yarn, we will do some capitalism. And while capitalism happens, maybe that's true because the matinee show is like at 1 or 2 or something, right? p.m. Yeah, so we should have time, especially if we manage to like get our butts out of the hotel by like. I think what we did is because Marcus and I went, right? Did we all go last time? Some subset of us went, right? I'm completely blanking on it. But it wasn't that far away, and we managed to get there early enough that there was no line or anything. So, like, we would need to do that sort of thing again. There's 4, 2, and then we do the weird cable. Right. Yeah, like that would be cool. And also, you did say that you were good on the Japanese bookstores for a little while, although we could still go to those too. Like, I've no problem with going to Japanese bookstore for a little while. Although last time I spent a dangerously bad amount of money on the capsule machine, just because they're fun. Problem is, I'm not gonna bring them with me, so like, what am I gonna do with all the things that come out of the capsule machine? Come on. Get these cables. Cables, get thee together. Yeah, that's true. Oh, okay. All right, I am. This row lost yarn chicken. Oh, that is dangerous. Stationery and art supplies are a terrible addiction. Um, that I probably want to go to. Where is it? Where's that store? How far away is it from like everything? Yeah, it does not take much to convince me to go to these places. You know that, right? Oh, yeah, I know that store. I don't think I knew it that it had stationery and things. Isn't that the one we went to with the capsule machines, or am I just like crazy? And Bryant Park is like right near Times Square because we went there to when I went to see 1776 with Steve. We went there. They had like their like little food stalls Christmas market thing going, which was pretty darn amazing. It was different, but they're two within. Oh, okay, so they're like near each other. Okay, all right. I need to go get two more skeins of yarn, which are downstairs because of course they are, because literally everything in my house is in disarray, being set up for realtor photos. But so I'm gonna put us into BRB, and I'm gonna run like a 1 minute bit of capitalism, primarily so that it staves off longer capitalism for later. Just so I can run downstairs and get the balls. I'm gonna wind them here. I will be right back. Haha! Have balls. Okay, well, skeins. Anyway, yeah, this is like Lions brand woolies because it was on sale. Right, can we do this without too much yarn barf? One. So we gotta wind this nonsense. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Here's one end. Okay. Okay. Ah! That was unfortunate. Oh, this is gonna be too much yarn barf. Oh well. Such is life. Also, stay as much like that as you can. And here's hoping we don't end up with a terrible problem. And considering I, a professional streamer, totally professional, I'm doing this on stream, I am inclined to believe that we're going to totally run into some kind of trouble, because it's not a stream without technical difficulties or something, and I think this might constitute the or something. Alright. Oh my god, this shakes everything. Sorry about that. Okay. On. Ball. Come a ball. These end up being giant balls of yarn when they, just because they're doubled. 2 skeins worth in one ginormous ball. I think most everybody else working on this spite sweater is working with bulky, so they don't have to double, because that's sort of the other option. But I decided, well, I didn't really so much make a decision as I went and looked at the yarn that these guys suggested, which is this one, which I would normally basically never, ever, ever, ever work with, because it is 80% acrylic, but I realized I needed 16 skeins of it, and Michael's had this particular color of this brand for like $2.99 a skein. When you need 16 skeins of something, inexpensive is the way to go. So. Right? Like, on sale it was then. It was purple, so, you know, it wasn't even that much of a compromise. But it meant that I didn't, like, look for the bulky yarn, because I was not going to beat that price for this stuff. So, it is. I really like it. It is a pretty nice purple. Although Ian, who is currently not paying attention because he's in a meeting, I think, who is the Ian of the hashtag Team Beat Ian for the sweater, is he's doing this in a gorgeous blue, which apparently is named after him, but is available from the dyer, so might end up buying it just because it's gorgeous, like bright, vibrant, slightly variegated blue, and those are a little hard to come by sometimes. So. One of the problems I have with this setup here is that this ball is going to be so big that it doesn't neatly fit into my yarn bowl. I have a new yarn bowl. I must show off actually, because it is like, so it's pretty big, but also it is a dragon, right? Like, this is amazing. But this ball is a little too big to like comfy fit in it. So it just sort of sits in there and I have to tug on it a lot. But I got that yarn bowl and I just got in the mail like literally 2 days ago. This yarn bowl, little cauldron, which is like got more spinning parts from the person I bought it from, but it is like a lovely little like articulated children. So I have problem. But really, like, I am anything that's like 3D printed like that. What is going on over here? Anything that's like 3D printed like that, I'm picking up now, just because it's gonna be so much harder to get it shipped later. So, yarn bowls and various such things. Giant ball almost done. Almost done. I joined up a cross-stitch monopoly recently, so we'll see how that's gonna go. I'm gonna try to stream some of the cross stitch too, but I'm gonna see if I can make the camera work with it. But I realized that I had too many works in progress, including the waiting for ships that I discovered was all together in a box still and ready to go from when I was working on it about 17 years ago, which is not quite before Ian was born, but almost. I was realizing that the amount of time in my life that I have been knitting is several multiples of Ian's age, which is hilarious. And for anybody curious, the reason this is Team Bit Ian and Spite Sweater is that Ian challenged Zakayla about who can knit this cardigan faster, which was silly because Zakayla is insanely fast and almost done. And Ian learned to knit in November. But, you know, it's Ian, so he challenged. And a bunch of us joined in. This is a tangled mess, so, like, that's great. And a bunch of us joined in on the challenge. And then we started, and then Ian tried to quit when he started working on the pattern. And he's not allowed to quit. It is now a Spite Sweater. Mousy named it. And everybody is on Team Beat Ian. Because Zakayla's going to win this, but we all want to finish before Ian. Okay, well, these skeins were apparently not even, which is weird because the previous... So I've wound 2 balls, 4 skeins worth of this. And the previous ones, like, matched up within like an inch of each other. What's going on over here? So let's see, where is the end? So let's see if we can figure out a good way to fold this so that this just is a loop. And we will tie this in a knot and join them later. Weave in the ends and verify the join. Okay, giant ball go in there. These guys trash. And we're gonna tie this in. Come on. Okay, there we go. And now we can go back, like 20 minutes later, we can go back to actually knitting this row. Because, of course, it's 20 minutes later. Okay. Now, where were we? That's a great question. I believe I just finished the second of the tiny weird things, and now I've got a purl 4. that pearl before the join. Working with knots, and I basically need it, but not so much that I can do about that. But one, two. Okay, now we get two more of the tiny weird cables, not to be confused with regular cables. Okay. Basically, it's moving the cables over to be able to join with each other. Okay. Knit, purl, knit. Another one of those weird ass tiny cables. Weird what? Weird ass. I started at noon. I am finishing the second row that I'm working on. So that was the back. These rows are long because it's all the way across the cardigan, so left side or right side, left side, then back, right side. So it takes a little while. Spent a chunk of time yesterday figuring out how to set up a fourth wall store. Which I was like, I don't really have channel merch or anything, although I made a t-shirt because they require you to have a starting project. But I think I'm gonna put my cross-stitch patterns that I have on Etsy there as well, because they have the ability to sell downloadable patterns and stuff, and I realized that it might be a better place to have them than on Etsy. I was reminded of this because the automated thingy posted my link tree. I have not yet added a fourth wall store to that. I also, it hasn't finished setting up so that it goes to my URL. Okay, so now pearls. Weird thing. And then another weird thing, I think. Another weird thing. Okay, and then we have a big cable. Three. I mumble numbers to myself, like I said. Complicated knitting patterns are like the most scintillating of content. this row is done. Back. Stay. Everybody hydrate. What is the saying? Hydrate or die straight? Something like that. Not in this channel. God, I was helping my friend Gail with a quilt, and you know, there's a lot of straight lines that sometimes go wobbly on the sewing machine. She was very distraught at her not straight lines, and I'm like, but Gail, nothing in this house is straight. Why would the lines be? Which was at least a funny, slightly distracted her from the distress of not being, you know, like perfect. This chart done. Moving on to the next chart. Moving on to the liminal space in between charts, but you know, then the next chart. Oh yeah, there's that automatic reminder from Raid Pal. But yes, soon, at the end, towards the end of May, like May 21st, 22nd, it's Thursday, through Monday, May 26th, that whole weekend, which is the Memorial Day weekend, I think. The Creative Club is doing a giant artist and maker raid train, and I realized that we put up a link to Creative Club, which is an awesome thing that Twitch is doing. A whole bunch of folks who are makers and crafters on Twitch to be together and be able to like share stuff and share experiences and whatnot. So yesterday there was a webinar on Fourth Wall, which is why I set it up finally. I haven't been meaning to for like 2 years. But anyway, Creative Club Artist and Maker Group is doing a raid train. My slot was in that advert, so it's Friday, the 23rd at 9:30. So I'm probably gonna start streaming around 8. And somebody's gonna raid into me. I think somebody's gonna raid into me at 9:30, and I'm gonna raid out at 10. Into the next person. We'll get a couple of hours of normal stream in. I never know what to do. Like, what do I do on the stream for the raid train? Last time I was doing blending board work, so I might try to do spinning. I actually have still the stuff that I blended during that raid train because I did not finished spinning it yet. at least after my house goes on the market and after the open house. So, okay, so that was 4, and then knit 2, and now 3. Knit. Need, okay, and then I'll hit purl 5. 2, 3. Six. 2. Join for the ball. Yep. Okay. Okay. And that's next one. It's not super slow going, but the long rows are not speedy. I had thought once I'd be done with the split sections and I could join everything together into one long row, it would go a little faster, but no. I love this color. This is like, what is it called? It's like Lines brand Woolies, because it was on sale. And I needed 16 skeins, and on sale was my favorite word at that point. Yeah, I know, right? Like, normally it is a little too much acrylic for me, but whatever. It doesn't, at least, like, it doesn't feel like... Like, I know it's bad to say bad things about Red Heart, but... And I don't have a problem with this discount yarn, like, let me tell you. Here I am. But Red Heart specifically, like, it feels so bad to my hands. And, like, the way I described it to somebody once is like, when I tried to do anything with Red Heart, my hands said that if I keep going, they're gonna run away from my body, and I will never get to use them again. It's like it's made of plastic bags or something, and I say this as a person who literally cuts up plastic onion, like, net things to make scrubbies out of. Red Heart is horrible. But Lion's Brand sometimes is not. Like, sometimes it totally is. But sometimes it's not bad. And, like... yeah, it's... Yeah, and I get why it exists too, but, like, you know what? You can go to Michael's and buy $1 pound of love, or whatever the hell the giant skeins are, and even they are better. And I'm totally, like, I am a yarn snob. I really like, you know, my nice hand-spun alpaca, blah, 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 blah. Or even, like, you know, Abrigo or something, but I understand that not everybody can afford that, and not everybody can use wool, right? Like wool is not for everybody. A lot of people are allergic and stuff, but I, I don't swear those things because I know better, because I know that I am a yarn snob. Okay. These, 3 of these. Oh, that icon is that scintillating stream content. Women tries to figure out if she knows how to count to 3. And let me tell you, the answer is usually no. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm on the reverse row. Oh my god. So far on this stream, we've watched me have to adjust my knit companion, and we've watched me have to wind a giant ball of yarn. So like, this has been literally the best of contents. At least I don't have to count little squares like this. Look at the I love knit companion. This is why I love knit companion. Here, this does not show you too much of a pattern, but it tells me how many stitches are in any gap bigger than 3, among other things. I mean, it doesn't automatically, I set that up, but it did, like, basically you go into magic markers and you select a stitch, and then you tell it, like, be this much more tolerant and stuff, and then it just kind of figures its shit out. Yeah. Well, like, I think Mousy is doing basically a school for knit companion. And I was realizing that the reason I know that I've been using it so long is I have a pattern in my knit companion that I was working on before starting chemo, and chemo was in 2012. And I know this because I almost finished that bag, and I had these grand plans that I was going to knit while I was getting the infusions, but one of the ingredients in my infusions was a lot of Benadryl, so you know what I did? I did a little nap for 6 hours every time I had that infusion, and I got no knitting done. And also my tumor is in my arm, so knitting wasn't actually happening until I didn't need the good drugs to be able to move my arm. So that was a thing. But yeah, so I know that I have a pattern in my knit companion from 2012, from fall of 2012. And it's not the first pattern I have in there, so I used it for some time before then, which means that at least 13 years, but like probably longer. So at this point, I just started saying, yeah, I've been using it for over a decade, because I've been using Knit Companion for over a decade. And I like it that much. So like, every once in a while in like Facebook groups or whatever groups, people are like, what's your favorite, whatever knitting pattern? And I'm just like, well, I've been using this one for over a decade, so like that should tell you my opinion on its goodness. Like literally never looked back. It is that amazing. It's just handy. It is just handy. Okay, we are not doing a cable in this row. Okay. I don't know what this song is, but it sounds familiar. Okay, this one is going over because this cable is traveling. So that cable traveled. Knit, purl, knit. The next cable also travels, but in the other direction. Oh my god. I remember a time when I had to use a cable needle to do cables, and I think that time lasted 5 minutes. At which point I was like, this is too much extra nonsense. Too much extra nonsense when I can just hold it with a finger. Oh, hey, I was wondering if I can ask you a question about Monopoly. Not to interrupt your stabbing fabric, sorry. Okay, so there's a thing where you figure out points to bank towards retreat, and I have absolutely no idea what that means. Like, zero idea of what that means. Because I saw the person on, who's like the first person on my board, they landed on chance or something like that. And so they had to do some stitches and then also some stitches towards retreat. And I'm just like, I don't understand that part. Sort of don't like, is that stitches that they have to do or they don't have to do or they have to keep track of or... I also mucked with Maker, I think it's called, right? Maker XR or something software yesterday. Treat prep goes into a different stash. Okay. I don't think I know what that means. I just don't want to, like, accidentally not do the right thing because I don't know what's going on. Markup. There we go. Yes. Yeah, it is seemingly very similar. I am having some amount of trouble figuring out how to use it, but not like a lot. Mostly because it seems that I have to select what color I'm doing, and then it like highlights it all in weird yellow, and then I can tap on the stitches and it counts them as marked. I don't see any way to not make them highlight in yellow. I don't want it there at all. Like, I don't want to have to select a thing. I'm like, I just want to go to the row I'm working on. So like in Pattern Maker, right? I go to the row I'm working on and I just click on the stitches I've done and it just figures out which like color or symbol or whatever that was. And I kind of want that, but yeah, I have not watched the tutorials yet. I did find that I could make the color different, so I made it like as pale as I possibly could because it starts out like blinding, you know, oh my god, death to your eyeballs yellow, so... Which, like, is fine, but not what I want. I do not want death to my eyeballs. Okay. We're doing a cable here, and it is going that way. These two, these two. Back. And yeah, I will look at their tutorial. Use the magnifying glass to pick the color you want. Or click the pencil icon to make this. Yes. I just feel like they should, like, they know where my stitches are. I should just be able to select the stitches. But that's fine. Like, I will live with an extra click. And I can make the selection color less horrible. But yeah. And I, you know, like, the way I cross stitches, I tend to just do all of that color. But also, like, most of the patterns I'm doing are my patterns, because I need to test stitch them. And they have a lot of letters. The letters are A, all one color. So it's like the majority of this cross stitch is going to be black. And then there's like a picture on below it or something like that. So that makes it a little easier. Did we run out of music? Is that what just happened? Are we... How did we run out of music? I don't know, but here we go. Oh, I probably want this one instead. Because that should give us, like, some more time. So what time is it? 1:17. Okay, good. Okay, where was I? Right. One pearl and that weird half cable. The weird half cable goes all the way to the edge and then is going to turn. Because that's how we do. I think we are in this part of the... Yeah, we're right here in the repeats of this pattern. Okay. Pearl. A normal cable going that way. I don't know what this music is, but it makes me a little bit think of Pink Floyd. Like, not a lot of Pink Floyd, but like a little bit. I signed up for the music thing that Zakayla uses to try it out. I'm gonna see if anybody blocks any of this music. This is like the test of it. 6. Oh, that can't possibly be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They elected the Pope. Sorry, my phone just buzzed. I'm gonna click on that AP article. Robert Provost elected the first American Pope in history. I was hoping for Pope Pizzaballa. Is now Leo the 14th. Yeah, right? Pope Pizzaballa. He could have been Papa John Pizzaballa. Okay. So, who is this guy? What do we know about the Catholic Diocese of Chicago? Like, America is not known for its Catholic Church being great. Hi, Mousy. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone that the new Pope is from Chicago, apparently. And I had to go look because not that I like deeply care about who the Pope is, but I was hoping for Pizzaballa, but I guess not. I mean, like, I definitely am worried if he's super right-wing, but I'm more worried about, like, the American Catholic Church has been involved in lots of, like, bad scandal, and I don't know how much, yeah. I tend to not pay attention to the news either, but, like, okay, but, like, American missionary who spent his career ministering in Peru and leads the Vatican's powerful office of bishops. And he's only 69 years old, so he might be Pope for a while. But I don't know much about him. Okay. Back to Knit Companion, because, like, that was as much... I mean, like... On the one hand, you're probably not wrong. On the other hand, let me tell you, as a Jewish person, um, nothing good happens when I call for church things to be burned down. So I will leave that to you to advocate for. Okay. What did I just do? That was the 6, and now we do cable leaning this way. Seed stitch. I really do not like seed stitch, but I don't think this particular design would be as good without it. No? Okay, hang on. Pearl, knit, pearl, knit, and do another pearl. Oh, right. And then we do a weird cable. And the weird cable is weird. It is like it's entirely politics to me. So, this many. This many inches. It is like politics because it is politics. It's going to affect me like getting a new like when France decides who their next prime minister is, that affects me. 6. The answer is 6. But oh god, we're gonna get an ad in a minute, which is fine because it's a good time for a bathroom break. But how about you? Where are you at? I know where Ian's at. I know that. Hey, listen. Oh, okay. How am I ahead of you? I was behind you. Okay. Now I do another. This is my row. So this is like row 69 of the pattern for me, or for the back. So it's 67 for the fronts. Yeah, that's true. Yes, team beat Ian. Well, Ian just joined. He was, I think, doing the short rows. I realized that I needed to set up repeating rows on my fronts, or it was gonna repeat from the beginning, from like the narrow part, because I didn't do just the repeat chart. So got to do that on stream because I did not think about it in advance. Nice. I have a bunch of doctor's appointments at 3, so I figured I would try to get a little knitting and a stream done before 2 and then get ready and go. Okay. I have not timed myself, but I probably could because I'm going to have this recording. But I started at noon and I got... This is the 3rd row? No, that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th row that I'm working on. But I did stop to muck with Knit Companion, and I stopped to wind a new giant ball of double yarn over here. Oh, wearing ads. I'm back. Sorry about the capitalism, but also it let me go get a baby bell cheese because snack. Um, he is. Oh, that's gonna be terrible. That is. Francis did like such a good job moving the general nonsense lefter. Uh, I had thought that there was like all this discussion of kind of getting somebody elected who was kind of in Francis's vein, but guess not. Ugh. Why can't people just mind their own business? Like, I would be perfectly fine if what he said was, I, as the Catholic Pope, think that Catholics should be this way or that way or can't do this or the other thing. It's when they talk about the general population that I get bothered. Because, like, okay, if you're going to say that he is your religious authority, then he gets to tell you what to do, right? Like, that makes sense. But, like, he's not my religious authority, and I resent when he makes statements that are like that. Which is, mind you, not to say that my religion is particularly much better about, like, gay people. But that's sort of a different story, right? Like, that's our problem to deal with. But that's not everybody's problem to deal with. Okay. You just imagine the uproar if, like, I decided to tell people that, in the privacy of their own home, like, they are not allowed to eat bacon just because I think it's bad. Oh, yeah. He'll be the best. Yes. Yep, 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 yep. You're not wrong. And also, what we didn't need to give him ammunition for more, like, look, he's making America great. It got a pope. Or something. Things we don't need of. Arg nonsense. When I was much more active in the SCA, which is the medieval group that I was active in, my motto was the Latin equivalent that I don't remember anymore. That meant people are why we can't have nice things. Because people are why we can't have nice things. Therefore, maybe we should just abolish people. That would solve so many problems, right? Okay. Okay. So that was so that was row 67 on the fronts and row 69 on the backs. I'm thinking when it's time to pick up the stitches for the um, both for the sleeves and for the cowl, I'm going to end up probably, because they say about 6 stitches for 10 rows, I'm going to end up putting stitch markers on every 10th row so that I can be a little bit like more even and accurate with that pickup, because I'm usually quite crap at it. Purl. Ah, I see Apple News is 10 minutes behind AP News in sending me notification about the vote. Oh, good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'm also hoping you get use out of that little yellow buzzing bee on a stick thing. It looks like a weird bee vibrator because it basically is. I think it needs new batteries, but it's basically like it's a good thing to use with the tomatoes. Just turn it on and you don't want to put it to the flour. You want to honestly just put it, like for the tomatoes, I would put it on the stem and it would just vibrate the stem and you could see the little clouds of, tomato sperm in the air. Oh yeah, because I bet the green beans also need the pollination, and it still works. That means that there are those are ancient ass batteries. Oh, well, maybe year old batteries. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, I did the knit purl net. Right, I am purling 5. Mostly because, you can put it right against the flower, but, it might damage the flower. Because it's a little on the violent side of vibrating, so, yeah, that's basically it. It's a little too vibrating. But I'm glad it works. I'm glad the tomato worked. I was like, I hope some of that worked. Also, a lifetime supply of Thai basil. But I was also hoping you can use just the blank pods, because it's, they will work with basically any seeds. They're pretty handy. Did you ever end up seeing if the other garden, the smaller one, worked, or was it also a problem? Because, I swear to God, I turned both of them on before I shipped them. Well, then the green one you said worked, but, got blown by the circuit, so. Yeah, the little one doesn't need, it needs to get replugged in because I unplugged it for shipping. It's it's got a little thing that connects in the back, plugs into the sort of obvious hole, but. I saw the plant you were showing yesterday. The cucumber plant was in a coffee can or something, which Awesome. I never like I tried some of the Kratsky stuff in like jars, but I never tried um, anything else because I sort of never know. I never know how to like hold the pods well. Um, okay, what am I doing? I am doing the back of the verse of the back chart. Okay. I would be I'm very curious to hear algae. Oh, yeah. You gotta super cover them up. I'd be very curious to hear how the cucumbers end up tasting. The one time I tried them, they were so watery, and I think I just had the nutrient mix not done well. But I don't know whether that's just like a feature of hydroponic cucumbers or. Yeah. Yeah, what do you know what you're gonna use for a trellis? Like you can just do string, but something sturdier is probably better. Um I was thinking when I had been so like the trellis systems that come with AeroGarden are just strings. I mean, I think they're like fish wire, but you can probably get like some sort of like metal grid or something. Yeah. Honestly, you can just get a bunch of cheap dowels from like Lowe's and Home Depot and put them in a regular way. And honestly, I would glue dowels like vertically and a couple of dowels horizontally to kind of hold it in a square, because then you can just like lean that on your window or stick it in a jar of whatever those aquarium stones are, right? Like that make a really good weight. And have it right like next to it, because then you can have beans and cucumbers and anything else that needs to go climb a trellis. And that the dowels aren't gonna sag under the weight of the fruit. Did I do my 5 pearls? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, clearly I didn't. If 3, 4, 5, 6 nets. Okay. Yeah, now I do 5 pearls again. On to the left front. Soon left front. Ah. String everywhere. The the two skeins of the woolies together make such a giant ball that it doesn't like rotate freely inside the dragon bowl. So hence the large amounts of yanking. Also, this just like does not really slide on its own. I feel like this yarn is just like sticky. It's not bad, but it's like sticky, which I think is the acrylic in it. No deal. I was looking at the directions where they were. I was looking at the directions where they say, "Oh yeah, you might want to go to a bigger needle for the sleeve," and I don't necessarily know whether that's true. Might. These are 10.5s. Might go to an 11. I gotta see if I have two 11s because I am assuming that I'm gonna need to do it on two circulars, which means that I need two sets of. I know I have two sets of 10.5s, but I don't know if I have necessarily two sets of 11s. I should, because I have two full sets of the interchangeables, but that doesn't mean that they're not like in use in a project somewhere. Because that is the eternal problem, obviously. Okay. Highest shields am I? Okay, this is like the 12th one of those messages they're sending me. Okay. That what is going on with this music? I guess this is funk pop, eccentric, and euphoric. Okay. Thanks, music. I guess that's what's happening. I guess. Maybe. That is maybe what's happening with the music. Unsure. Unsure. Okay. Is it? Okay. I think I probably have time for one more round. I think I have time. I'll find out. It feels like it's going super slow, but I guess it's not that slow. Okay, we are doing this week. Yeah, I realized a couple of times that I split the two together yarns and like invented stitches out of them, which is not great. And like I did discover it, close enough to the problem to fix it, because the benefit of the chart, of course, is that if you do that sort of thing, it messes up your chart, and then you know that something weird happened. is this cable going? This cable is going that way. Great. That's the left. Yeah, definitely sticky arm. Nope, do not forget. Which part of do not forget the second strand? Do not get like 3 times in a row. Like try this on some point soon. I tried it on right before joining the fronts to the back, but I haven't done it since. Ought to see if it's even remotely gonna fit. Hoping that I have enough yarn to make not just the belt, but also like belt loops. If I don't have belt loops, there's no chance in hell the belt is not getting immediately lost. Immediately. Okay, back chart. Counting, scintillating conversation. Good to go and do a. Okay, well, something is not right here. Oh no, maybe not. That one is going away because we're moving the things. Okay. Yeah, we're moving the things. Okay. All right. Let's do the weird cable. Move the pearl over by the width of the cable. So it's some. Yeah, so I have appointments today. I get to go do a bone density scan, which I've never done before. But I'm told it's just a bunch of x-rays. So as much as I need more radiation in my life, like I need an extra hole in my head, this one needs to get done. Sunday or Saturday, I have not one, but two MRIs in a row. So that's going to be also great fun, but maybe we'll be able to find out why my back hurts a whole lot. Although apparently it's because I have fractures in my L5, which I didn't know I had because I've never fractured anything in my back. I've never broken any bones in my body. So that's going to be exciting. But that's part of why I'm doing a bone density scan, so that we can find out why I have fractures in my spine that nobody knows about, that are not resulting of any injury that I'm like aware of. And I would hope that if I fractured things in my back, I would have noticed. But maybe the answer is I wouldn't have. I'm gonna go MRI that. I'm also gonna MRI my shoulder because it hurts. And whenever my shoulder hurts, look at it so as not to freak out, because once you have the cancer in one part of your body, whenever that part of the body hurts ever again, that's your first thought. And like generally that's true for all the other parts of your body too. So we're gonna go get MRIs to find out why things are weirdly hurting. And like, I think for my shoulder, it's really because I've been clearing out my house and lugging boxes, and like, I know that that's not a really fully working arm, so like, it's inevitable, but for peace of mind, we x-rayed it and didn't see anything, which, no one is surprised by, so. I will know how many minutes one row takes because I started this row at 1:48. It is now 1:57. Almost, but not quite, with the row. Yeah. Pearl. Okay, great. And we get the other pearl for the next row and move it over from the other side of this cable. And this cable goes this way. Okay. And it is 1:58. So it takes me 10 minutes to do a right side row, and probably is going to take me 5 minutes to do the back side row. So I think 15 minutes per row pair is, as Mousy said, is true for me as well. Okay, let's do a little measuring over here. So we're knitting until this measures 15 inches. So we are, okay, we're almost at 7. So like about halfway-ish. Oh, nice. Be aware that with suction cups, you might end up with enough weight on them that they can fall down. That is a thing that might happen. But yeah, like having a real trellis not just like string is probably the correct way to go. Okay, so here's where we're at. This is our front pattern, you know, from the shoulder down, and then this is our yarn tangle. This is our back pattern. So I don't think all of it can quite anymore fit into this shop, but it has a pretty good pattern. So far we've had this bit. This is the second time we have that bit, and we are clearly doing, so this is this bit again. Yeah, so as soon as these two cables over here move to each other, we'll be doing this twist again. Okay, good. Good. I would love to see pictures when you have it. You should, like, I don't know if you have been, but I haven't seen them in places I look at in Discord. But I would love to see just like photos of your setup in general, because we see some of it behind you in your stream, but not like wow, words are hard. Not all of it, and not like head on, so it'd be cool to see. All right. There's a gardening channel. Oh, I don't think I've like noticed that because I am terrible. Okay. I'm gonna go and try to find that channel because I'm sure it exists somewhere, and I am just very bad at finding. Oh, there it is. All right, because somebody posted their roses. Audrey 3 cucumbers. That is awesome. How were the lettuce wraps with your lettuce yesterday? You said you were gonna use the I should go and see anybody on. Who is on that I can raid into? I know. What is KB5? Crocheting and latch hooking a teddy bear. Go there. I like KB. Oh yeah. That's a thing with lettuce. Like, you have to basically guess its magic it's magic done number, and then if you don't quite get it, okay. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, we're gonna go. Ooh, yay! Mini supports. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. I will look at pictures momentarily. I'm going to raid us into KB Fibers, who I think is crocheting teddy bears. And then I'm going to go and get the density of my bones scanned, because that's how that works. That'll be working more on the sweater probably off stream in the afternoon. Thanks for hanging out. Let me see a sec. Oh yeah, they're working on a teddy bear, and they're cool people. So should be good. All right. Thank you for hanging out, everybody, and I will see folks in a bit. Bye, everybody.
You ready? Aw. Oh, goodness. I have things falling down. It's falling, Mom, it's falling. There we go. Welcome in, readers. Sleepy Luna, hello.